in a network full of hundreds of matchmakers across the country as well as internationally. So I would also tap into them and share the profile of the client and say, hey, I have someone for you to look at. My database don't necessarily have someone that's suitable for that person. Let me know if you have someone. And 10 times out of 10, between my network and my database, I will find someone for the person. Again, unless they're, looking for someone that's just completely like unicorn-like, I will definitely find the person for them.
So do you find it different? Obviously, you match men and you match women. Do you find it very different when you're talking to the men versus the women?
Men are definitely more physical. Like they're interested in looks. And one of the questions I ask is, tell me about your, ideal match. And, men are always like, well, I want them to be, 5'5", 120. But it's always physical. They're always describing how the person should look.
Right.
Whereas with women, I want someone that's kind, generous, funny, fun to be with, who loves to travel. So someone that's kind of more, they're describing more character, a character of a person. So that's the stark difference between
so
a male
funny.
client and a female client.
So what do you say to them? What do you say to these men? They're like, okay, I want 5'5", 120 pounds. You're like, well, that 5'5", 120 pounds might not be the girl for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes I have hard conversations with them because sometimes, the guy is, looking for someone that's just a little bit above kind of where they should be looking. And it depends on where they are in their life, right? I mean, I deal with a lot of divorcees. Mm-hmm. And in my experience, divorcees should be okay with dating other divorcees, and not so much people that have never been married. And again, it's a different time in your life. People that have never been married, they have different goals.
Right.
Perhaps they want children. Perhaps they've never experienced a relationship before. So they're just in a totally different phase of their life. So having to kind of redirect the conversation as to what the person should be looking for, I tend to have that conversation a lot.
Yeah, I would imagine you. I would imagine so because we're such different creatures, men and women. Your process is 4 steps. The first step is discovery, the introductory consultation, the questionnaire. Taking the plunge, and then you go on to the digging. The assignment,
right,
the matches.
And that's the dating process. Correct. That's the matching process. The digging is the matching process that I do for each client.
So with that matching process, do you come back, say, to the guy or to the girl, and do you say, well, do you give them choices? Like, I have 3 matches for you, I have 2 matches, or how does that work?
So I used to do that. I used to just kind of present, if I have 5 matches, I would just present, the 5 matches that I have for that person. And, what's that saying? A kid in a candy shop.
Yeah.
You never know what they want because you're giving them so many choices at one time. So I stopped doing that a while ago.
Makes
about
sense.
4 years ago. And so what I do is I just present a match at a time, regardless of whatever the package that they decide to pay. I just present one match at a time. I let that date happen, and, I'll get feedback on that date, and I take notes, if it was a great match, perfect. If it wasn't, why? Make notes so that with the next match, we're not repeating the same, concerns.
Right, the same issues, like everything was perfect
right.
Except X, Y, and Z, this and that, and then you move on to the next one. So do you set up the dates for them to go on, or do they make their own arrangements?
I do. So the dates are not like your typical dinner dates. They're more coffee dates or cocktail dates, depending on the time of the day. And that's simply because at that time, the client is just looking to see if there's chemistry with that person. And so it's no need to, have a long dinner date, 3-hour date, just to determine if there's chemistry. So I typically just set up, a coffee date or a cocktail date.
Okay.
For wherever they are, and take it from there.
Now, are they? I'm sure they are. They're screened. Everyone's screened.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
which is also like makes you feel very safe because you don't know what's out there. And you don't know who's online and who's looking for what and who's looking for this. So it just seems to me like the perfect thing. So then step 3 is they go on the date, they have some fun. Then step 4 is, you talk, you go back to them. And
right. So it's a debrief. Yeah.
Yes. So it seems like, why would I not sign up for your free consultation on connectricitymatch.com? Doesn't make sense not to. It's like the perfect thing. So your clients, when they finally get the match, when they're like, I think this is it, do they like leave you or do they keep in touch with you?
No. So I have clients that they've become friends. So I attend their weddings. They, and the interesting thing is that some clients will still call me. They're long-term dating. I mean, they'll still call me just for coaching. Which is also pretty cool. It's like because you didn't forget about me or the process that you went through, and you appreciated it so much so that a year or two later you're still calling, asking, "Hey, I just want to ask you a quick question about something, and I can't talk to anyone else about it." Because another thing throughout the process, we're talking about a lot of confidential stuff. I mean, a lot of people, especially I deal with 30s to 50s, and it's a lot of people with a lot of baggage.
Right.
Just period.
Yes.
So we talk about a lot of confidential stuff, and so it's they'll come to me and say, remember we talked about A, B, and C. I can't talk to anyone else about it, but I want to know what your approach would be in dealing with something. So, so I do get phone calls like that from time to time, not regularly, but from time to time I will get a phone call like that.
So you're in Chicago, New York, Miami, parts of New Jersey, Connecticut, but anyone can go online and talk to you and find you and have you help them match them up.
Absolutely.
If you just tuned in, I'm talking to Trenia Norford, Connectricitymatch.com. Go on her website. The website will literally walk you through the entire process. You can contact Trenia. She will talk to you, walk it through, make it easy. It's not easy dating in this world. It's definitely a little bit difficult, especially if you're afraid of the process. This just seems like the perfect fit. I know you're going to share some stories with me. And one of your clients is actually going to come on and talk to us and tell us her story because she's 4 months going strong.
Yeah.
So I can't wait
about that.
I know, right? I mean, it must give you so much joy because you're doing so many good things for people.
Yeah.
Now
I'm doing my passion, and I appreciate that.
And there has to be some challenges. What are the challenges with doing this as well?
You don't always. Again, I think I touched on the fact that some people come with some type of emotional baggage, and sometimes you have to turn people away, or not necessarily turn them away, but not work with them just at that moment because they're just not ready. And even though they may think they are, they're not. And so having those tough conversations it's just not always fun. That's one thing. Another thing is I come across a lot of and women who they look fantastic for their age, fantastic. I mean, maybe 10, 15 years younger than what they are. And they want to date younger. And understandably so. They look younger, they feel younger, age is spirit, right? But the problem is the guys that will want to date someone that's older are not necessarily looking at it from the same standpoint as they are. They're not looking for like a committed long-term relationship. They're looking to kind of like, again, like what they would use Match.com for, kind of date and see where it goes and how long and date someone else. So they're not looking for serious committed relationships. Or, right, that could be one thing, or they're again at a different stage of their lives. So, a 40-year-old may want to start having children if they haven't had any already. And so someone that's 55, they probably already had children.
Right.
And so they don't want any more children. So it's very difficult to also have these conversations with clients who want to date younger because they know what they want. They're pretty strong women, and I kind of have to push back and say, listen, I would love to work with you, but this is the fact of the matter. Like, this is what I'm getting, and I don't want to just introduce you to someone for the sake of introducing you to someone. So why don't we kind of, how about if I introduce you to someone who is around your age but is just as young as you are, looking and acting,
physically,
and
emotionally, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And so anyway, so it's just kind of like turning that conversation around to see that, perhaps they need to date someone else a little older than what they're asking for.
Interesting that you say women want to date younger. Do most men want to date younger?
Yes, that's a given.
Right. Okay, that's a given. I was going to say.
Yes, and you know what? Honestly, it's easier to introduce a younger woman to an older man than it is introducing a younger man to an older woman.
Right. I could see that.
It just does.
I could see that.
And that's why the conversations are harder with women.
Right.
Older women wanting to date younger.
What Bob's going to chime in here.
What do you think of the idea that opposites attract?
Can you ask that question one more time? I didn't hear you, Mike.
Say that one more time? What do you think of the idea that opposites attract?
Oh, I agree with that 100%. I mean, just my own personal story. I am hyper-organized, very structured, very process-oriented. That's just my personality type. And my husband is quite the creative. Like, he's just very artsy, very kind of, like, just big picture, just, messy in his, but messy in his thinking, but yet it's organized for him, like it's just, but we get along so beautifully, because I'm more rigid than he is, and so then like when we're together, like as a partnership, he's just, he kind of levels me out, balances me out, and vice versa. So I totally think opposites attract.
Wow.
I mean, and of course, yeah. I mean, and of course there's, some instances where, it's just not going to work, right? Just because if someone, and I don't, I'll say this, just because of like the political environment that we're in right now, I got to be honest with you. There's some, staunch conservatives that are like, I can't even look at a liberal right now. So, I mean, those are opposites, right? And unfortunately, right now, it's just, it's not necessarily, good to kind of mix and match with, depending on political affiliation. So that's just an example of how opposites can attract or not.
I would want someone totally opposite of me. Absolutely. Dating as an adult is not easy. It takes time and effort. Trenia Norford, Connectricitymatch.com. There is absolutely no reason not to use her, not to let her help you find love. It's easier. It's simple. It's hands-on. It's personalized. It's safe. It's just way easier for people that are busy professionals, especially with Chicago, New York, Miami, parts of New Jersey, Connecticut. But you can find her online. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a call because our phones have been ringing. So it's 203-661-5051. And we're also going to be talking to one of Trenia's clients. So we'll be right back. You're listening to What's Up with Wendy right after this break.
From the WGCH Weather Center.
Flash flood watch till 6 this evening, a wind advisory until 6 this evening, and a coastal flood advisory 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rain today heavy at times, tapering to showers ending by evening, turning colder this afternoon. Morning highs in the low to mid-50s, falling through the 40s and 30s. Turning mostly clear, cold, low 20s tonight. Mostly sunny, colder tomorrow, 35, and on Saturday, mostly sunny, 25 to 30. Instead of slipping and sliding and splashing your way around, float your way to Long Island, New York aboard the Port Jeff Ferry. Never any snowdrifts or puddles or black ice on Long Island Sound, so be warm and relaxed. Travel to Long Island on the Port Jeff Ferry. 888-443-3779. I'm meteorologist Bill Jacquemin on 1490 WGCH.
Finding a suitable partner can take time, and not all working professionals have the patience to scour bars, dating apps, and meetups for a date. Dating as an adult takes a lot of effort and comes with no guarantees that you'll actually make a worthwhile connection. A professional matchmaker like Trenia Norford, however, can promise to make the journey easier and less time-consuming by arranging personalized introductions. In